everyone, this video is to help you with the problems involving um, the equation of circles and completing the squares to do that. So the idea for these problems is that I want to get this equation into standard form of a circle so that I can find the center. So we want our equation to be in this form: x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. This way we can find the center because the center is hk. So you can see that our circle equation has two perfect squares. These binomials are squared. So we're trying to get this equation to look like that. So I want to get all my x's and y's to the same side. That way I can see how what I'm going to need to do in order to make this a perfect square and factor it to be this binomial squared. So I'm going to subtract 10x and y from both sides. Minus 10x minus y. And so you'll see they cancel from this side because I'm moving it to the other side of the equals. And then I get x squared minus 10x plus y squared minus 2y equals 38. I wanted to leave a gap, so let me rewrite that. So I left this gap because I need to add some numbers to both sides in order for this to become perfect squares. So what should I add to both sides to get that? Well, I need to think of what number do I need in order to make this a perfect square trinomial. So an easy way to figure this out, this is a plus c value, is that you want to find a c value that is b over 2 squared. So what's b over 2 squared? Well, normally our trinomials are in this form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So my new c value that I want, this value, is c equals b over 2 squared, which is what I was saying. And so I want to look at the b value. So I am going to do this two different times. I want to keep the x part separate from the y part. So if I'm looking for the c for the x side, I'm going to want that to be 10 over 2 squared. So that's going to be 5 squared, which is 25. I want to add 25 to both sides. For this one, the y, c is going to be using this b. So that's 2 over 2 squared, which is 1 squared, which is 1. So I'm adding 25 and 1 to both sides of the equation. One is going to go in for this c, and the other is going to go in for this c. So let's rewrite this all and simplify where we can so that it's a little more easy to factor. So x squared minus 10x plus 25, and then I have y squared minus 2y plus 1, and that equals 38 plus 25 plus 1. So I'm going to simplify this part, and then this part. So x squared minus 10x plus 25. Now that this is a perfect square trinomial, this will factor to be x minus 5 quantity squared. And you can verify this by just multiplying this out. If you FOIL this, x minus 5 times x minus 5, you will get this trinomial out. So if you need more practice on factoring, you should go back and watch that video. The one I told you was optional. So now for the y's, this factors to y minus 1 quantity squared. And over here, this will simplify to 64. So now I have my equation in standard form. The last part is to figure out the center for this problem. So mine has minuses, so it's in the same form as the equation of a circle, like standard form. So my h and k is just going to be 5 and 1. So dark purple. I hope this helps. If you still have questions about this, leave me a message on Remind.